Well, the superstars are showing out in this tournament. So, Witty, you're going to take us through your top 6 Ballon d'Or power rankings, starting at number 6.
And I wanted to start at number 6 with a player who is not at the World Cup. I've gone for Khvicha Kvaratskhelia because I still think, based on what he did in the Champions League with PSG winning it, that he deserves to be in a top 10 ballot. So just because Georgia, for as much as we are expanding this tournament, maybe if we get to 64, Georgia has a chance of qualifying, but they probably are not going to. What they did at the Euros, they made it last 16. They look decent. Internationally is never where he's going to make his name. So the club game is going to have to carry the day. I still think he deserves to be in with a shout on the basis of what he did in the club game. So let's move then to number 5, and that's where we begin with players that are actually at the tournament. I've gone for Harry Kane as my number 5, and this is one where you could absolutely make a case that combining club performance with international performance, he deserves to be there. The reason why I have other players above him is that for England, Jude Bellingham has been the best player. And Jude Bellingham, again, you want to talk about players who were maligned with their club seasons. Jude at Real Madrid did not have a very good season, but he is the leader of that England team. And so I think Kane has actually seen a little bit his estimation drop in my perspective, even though he scored a lot of goals, but you scored from the penalty spot, is not necessarily dominating the tournament. He had that brilliant goal against DR Congo. So I put him at number 5 as a result.
If England were to win, Harry Kane, with what he did at Bayern Munich, I mean, the goals that he scored in all competitions with Bayern Munich is only goals that we've seen Messi at Barcelona and Cristiano Ronaldo at Real Madrid score. We don't normally see players going over 60 goals, over 70 or 80 goals, assists combined. Like, these are mind-blowing numbers that Kane is putting. So if you had that season with Bayern Munich, you win the title, and then you win leading the line for England, score a few goals in the process, Harry Kane could go all the way up to number 1, Chris.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure. I think in some ways, this all gets absolutely amplified if any of these teams, in the top 5 at least, Georgia not winning it, but if any of these players in the top 5 go on to win it, that is a level of exponential increase in sort of your profile. So let's go to number 4 then. I've gone for Messi at number 4 because, as you mentioned, we're midway through an MLS season. He is performing well, and we're also talking about winning an MLS Cup championship. But again, what does winning an MLS Cup championship mean through the prism of the Ballon d'Or ranking? I don't think it gets to the same level as Harry Kane winning the Bundesliga or Kylian Mbappé with Real Madrid. So I think if Argentina win the World Cup, he's number 1. He's been the best player at this tournament so far.
What if he wins the Lamar Hunt Trophy?
Right. Well, they're not eligible, but maybe Leagues Cup is on for Inter Miami.
What about before the World Cup even began? Would Messi be in your top 6?
No, he wouldn't have been in my top 10, I don't think. Which probably is an oversight on my part. I might be underrating what he does week in and week out. And I think what he's done at this tournament serves to probably underrate what he does week in and week out. Because if he does it in MLS every week, and then he goes and does it at the World Cup every week, he is playing at this level every single week. So we should probably rate it on that basis. But obviously the Champions League is the prism through which we usually view the Ballon d'Or. So I have Messi at 4. But again, if they win, he's number 1. We move to number 3. I've gone for Erling Haaland at number 3. And again, you want to talk about lifting a team, lifting a country while also doing it. A player who probably is underrated at club level. And that's crazy to say because he led the Premier League in goal scoring. Yeah. I think he's underrated because we take for granted what he does now. The level of goal scoring is at such a ridiculous level, especially in England. England is not a place where having a 20-goal scorer is a common thing. It's difficult to get 20 goals in the Premier League. He makes it look easy. And then you take a side at this World Cup where Norway, I think on the basis of how bad they've been in qualifying for previous tournaments, for the Euros, for the World Cup, they haven't qualified for a tournament since the year 2000. And yet here they are now with him leading the way, scoring that goal against Brazil, the biggest goal you could argue in the history of Norwegian football to get them to a quarterfinal. He's put this team on his shoulders.
In the qualifiers, he had 16 goals in 8 matches.
Wow.
Those are not average of 2 goals per game is not normal. And it wasn't just against small teams. It was against Italy. Norway destroyed Italy. It's the reason why Italy are not at the World Cup. I love the Erling Haaland shout. It would be great. And I feel like he's been the big winner of the World Cup so far. He's hilarious on social media. People look at him and
the
they
Viking
see
row
this,
is great.
this phenotype of a Viking from thousands of years ago. I mean, everything about this guy at the World Cup is like blown up. I'm absolutely in love with the way he's playing. 1 touch, 1 goal. Love that simplicity.
Star power.
deserves to be there purely on the basis of getting the entire team to start the Viking row after
Right.
the game. It's a brilliant tradition. All right, number 2, and this is, I think, me balancing the club season more than the World Cup, is still Michael Olise. He was my number 1 coming into the tournament, and I still think he is playing well and has been central to what France do well this tournament. Doesn't quite have the level of goal scoring. We'll get to that with my number 1 in a second. But this, for me, is about what I watch every single week. I think he's right up there with one of the very best players in the world. Obviously, Messi sort of has that locked down until he relinquishes it. But I think Michael Olise is right up there. So while he has had a couple of moments where he should have scored, he has plenty of assists. And for as good as he was for Bayern Munich, he was my number 1 player coming into the tournament. I'm more than happy for people to say Haaland deserves to be above him, Messi deserves to be above him based on what we've seen at this World Cup. But I still think he's central to what France do. And I still think the best is yet to come for him at this tournament.
You know what's funny is that if this wasn't a World Cup year, Kvaratskhelia would be over there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Dembele won the World
Right.
Cup. Won the Ballon d'Or after PSG won their Champions League. Now it's 2 Champions Leagues in a row. It just happens to fall in a World Cup year, and that's why, with the weight of the World Cup, we're seeing Kvara, who'd normally be 1 or 2, all the way at number 6. So you're really going with mostly the World Cup weight. Olise, though, he's starting for France. He's playing well for France. 5 assists, I think, so far.
Yeah.
He's been an assist machine in this new role where he's more of a number 10 for France.
Yeah, I think the goal scoring is still to come. So I think this is like 60% club and 40% country, how I sort of have this balance. And then number 1 is Mbappé. Mbappé, I think coming into the tournament, I had ranked 8th. I had him 8th on my Ballon d'Or ballot. I was not a fan of what he did this season for Real Madrid. There was a reason. Fans know best. And when the fans are so out on you that there's the petition, there are the whistles, there is obviously all the issues. I think he took a vacation while he was dealing with an injury. There was this feeling that Real Madrid have gotten worse since he got there, which is shocking. But you see at this World Cup what he is capable of and what his ceiling is, and his ceiling is still right up there as very best player. And I think he's going to end this tournament on double-digit goals. I think they're going to continue to advance. And this is, for me, as much about my projection of France winning it all, winning the World Cup, Mbappé being the one leading the way. That's why I have him number 1. It's more of a projection than it is about what he's done so far in the totality of his resume. I'm frustrated with what we saw at club level, but you see a spark. You see an explosiveness when he plays for France that I don't see often enough for Real Madrid, but still, I think France are on their way to winning it, and he's on his way to winning this award.
I think he has a new type of swagger with him in this World Cup. Even this facial expression where he's just kind of swearing off anybody that's doubted him, doubted the team. You can do whatever you want if you're
Paraguay,
Yeah.
the entire nation of Paraguay.
Exactly. We have some comments here. Woody, please tell me this is rage bait. Kane only at number 5. What does Kane have to do? LOL.
Yeah, this sounds like something I would have in my WhatsApp chat. This is our producer, Brees, by the way.
Forget Mbappe. Kane was the best striker in the world the last season. His numbers were astronomical. So I think there's a shout there that Kane could be elevated, especially with the kind of striker that he is.
He's a great player.
So much more than just a number 9, isn't he? He's a number 10, he's a number 9. He plays 2 roles at once.
He also defends.
In terms of what he has to, the question is, what does he have to do?
He's got to win.
Be the best player on the team. That for me is the feeling. Messi, without Messi, Argentina does nothing. Without Erling Haaland, Norway does nothing. Without Mbappe, France will still be decent. I just love Michael Olise. That's just my personal bias. Yeah. But I think Jude has been the inspirational leader of England, not Harry Kane. The numbers look great. What's up?
Where's Jude on your list?
Well, he had a pretty miserable club season. So I would honestly, he's here. He's 7.
He's 7? Hey, last one. Where's Dembele, though? Reigning Ballon d'Or, he just came off a hat.
Not had a very good World Cup. I think he was pretty overrated for where he was in his club season as well.
I like Witty a lot. I think he's a fantastic human being, a wonderful person.
Here comes the insult.
But kind of just from a betting perspective, being the betting guy, we're way off from what we're looking at the actual odds here. Harry Kane
you're totally wrong.
Is not. No. He's not wrong. I'm just saying that the books have Harry Kane as the favorite, and when you're looking at a World Cup year, it's kind of messy, for lack of a better word. Haha, I know, but ultimately, what you're betting on is who's going to win the World Cup. Because whether it's fair or not, you already talked about this, Matteo. Whatever country wins, the World Cup winner or the Ballon d'Or winner is going to be from that nation. If England win and Harry Kane continues to score how he's scoring, it makes sense that Kane wins the Ballon d'Or, especially with the season as Bayern Munich. Kylian Mbappé, if France win, who are the heavy favorites, plus 160 now. I gotta believe it's going to be Mbappé with how he's playing right now.
How is Kane favored above Mbappé?
I think that's crazy because
you're saying England is going to win the World Cup. If England go out in the quarterfinal to Norway or in the semifinal to Argentina, there is no chance that he's winning the Ballon d'Or.
Agreed.
No chance.
Agreed.
Especially
Where's
because
the smart
Bayern didn't win the Champions League.
Smart money. Smart money. I only see 2. 1 and 2. That looks terrible to me.
I wouldn't play it at plus 300 for Harry Kane. I think that's an outrageous number. I'm with you, Lionel Messi. If Argentina win the back-to-back, it doesn't matter what kind of season he's at in MLS, whether you believe in the narrative, it's going to be him.
Especially with the level of performance, right?
Especially with all the goals. I wish Michael Olise was higher. As a Bayern Munich fan,
Yamal makes absolutely no sense.
Shouldn't be on the board at all.
No sense. Out of the quarterfinal of the Champions League has, I think, been pretty bad at this World Cup so far. I don't understand how he's 5th.
The only argument I'd make for kind of a weird one, if Norway win, that's going to be a big jump from plus 1,100. I think you got to consider Haaland, but that might be the one guy where even if they win, it's not a guaranteed Ballon d'Or.
They would have had to have won the Premier League or the Champions League.
They would have had to do more, absolutely.
Yeah. He'll have to go all the way.
No, if Haaland and Norway win the World Cup, it would be one of the most astonishing World Cup victory ever. I think
Absolutely.
it has to be Haaland.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.